You mentioned also that, you're not privy to 6 different camera angles on the spot.
Correct.
And, the slow motions and so forth. This past weekend we had DC fight Stipe, and there was an eye poke that wasn't seen. And it's brought up a whole load of, can of worms again now about what potentially could have happened had that been seen, this and that. Would it have changed the outcome of the fight, whatever? And I actually saw Luke Thomas bring out a video where he talks about that maybe we should introduce a multi-ref system, where he was saying that you would still have your main ref that calls the fights and everything, but you would have a secondary ref on the outside, whether he's sitting with the commentators or whatever, and he's got the screens, so he gets the replays, he gets the 6 camera angles. And the one thing I wasn't too sure, because I think he was saying like in between rounds, that ref is actually allowed to enter the cage and talk to the ref in the cage. But for instance, with the eye poke, you're not going to wait until the end of the round anyway. So I don't know where you would go there, unless maybe you're wearing an earpiece and that ref can relay some information to you. But just looking at other sports, and that's what he was kind of relaying it to, is like, if you watch the NBA, you got 3 refs on the court, but then they still have a chance to stop play and go to the instant replay. Same with football, you've got the bunker. What do you think of an idea like that? Do you think that, granted, he did also mention that these sports, the reason you have multiple refs is because you've got a bigger surface area to cover. Like, basketball, you've got 10 players on the field, on the court at any one time. Rugby, you got the 26 players on the field at any one time. So there's obviously, you need more eyes because there is more action rather than just 2 people. But do you find we need to start looking into something like having a secondary, ref that helps the main ref in the cage, for instances, as I say, where a few things, do get passed up? Or do you just think like, look, it is part of the sport, like it sucks, but it is what it is?
It sucks, and it is a part of the sport, and I don't think we need a secondary ref. You got people with funny ideas saying, why don't we have 5 judges? Why don't we make half points and all this kind of stuff, the refs that the UFC employ or the commission employs, and that particular referee, he's a very, very, very experienced man. And, we don't, everything happens so quick, okay? Very, very, very quick. You're not going to see everything, and you can't score, and you can't call what you can't see.
But you wouldn't want someone in your ear then, for instance, like, hey, John, there was an eye poke there, or, like you would actually vote against having a system like that?
I'd vote against having a system like that, yes.
And your reasoning?
My reasoning is I think we do a good enough job as it is, okay? There are just times when we're human beings, and when we're not going to see everything. We can't be around that fighter. That secondary referee might not see it either. We can't be in 360 degrees around the fighters. We try and get on the open side all the time, and put ourselves in a position where we can see everything, but we're not always going to get everything.
It's tough, I say the same, once again, relating back to football now, and it's like, I sometimes feel like it takes the energy out of the sport, having the instant replays, when you have to like stop the game every time there's something, and, you kind of go through, and by the time, I guess you look at all the angles and see, yes, you've made the right call then, but it takes the energy out of the room, right? That's how I feel about it. But I guess it's also the classic thing there is as well that a lot of people talk about, that betting, right? That a lot of money is sometimes made or lost depending on these decisions as well. And that's why a lot of these top high-end sports have all these, because they don't want to get the calls wrong, because obviously it's influenced a lot by the fact that people can bet on it, right? And I'd admit I'd hate to put like a $20,000 or 30. I'm never going to do that anyway. But put $30,000 in, and it's like John Sharp missed this whatever it is, and now I've lost that money rather than win or have a no contest or anything like that. Actually, speaking of which, the Stephan Bonner one, when he disputed it, did it get overturned? Did it get made into a no contest? Do you know what ended up happening with that?
I can't remember what happened with that. They did get to fight again, and Stephan Bonner beat Christoph.